Hi everyone, welcome to the Whiteleyverse with me, Connor Whiteley, for another daily story with a chapter from one of my novellas. Before I start today's chapter, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content, and the engagement really helps the Whiteleyverse with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you want to buy this book and any of my other fiction, then they're all available from all major ebook retailers. You can order the paperback and hardback copies from Amazon, your local bookstore and local library if you requested. Also, if you want the AI generated audiobook, then you can get it from selected audiobook platforms and library systems like Kobo, Spotify, Barnes & Noble, Google Play, Baker & Taylor, Biblioteca and Overdrive. Now, here's today's chapter. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did writing it.
Chapter 1. When the Lady of Light dropped out of ultraspace, it entered a battle. The long blade-like warship jerked, vibrated, and moaned softly as Ithane Veilwalker, stood on the massive oval bridge watching the situation unfold. Loud flashing warning lights and alarms sounded overhead to warn the rest of our fleet what was happening, and everyone was preparing for battle stations. We were about to go to war. I leant on the lovely warm back of my purple crystal command throne as I focused on what was happening in the void outside. Thousands upon thousands of immense white pods that looked like white peas from this distance darted, swirled and zoomed through the void like their lives depended on it. Then even more white warships appeared to be approaching us. I didn't know what the Imperium wanted, but the very fact that my fellow humans were here wasn't a good sign. Especially as black, smoky, shadowy blade-like warships were also swarming the Imperial warships. The entire void was a firework display of explosions, laser fire, and death. Imperial warships shattered like glass, and the black, smoky warships of the Dark Chaos exploded too and screamed out bloody murder as the Death God roared out in pleasure of consuming the souls of his followers and those of his enemies. I flat out hated that the Dark Chaos were too. Unlike my fleet, that was a beautiful mixture of Chaos and humans, with me being a human that was brought back to life by the goddess of life Genetrix to serve her. The Dark Chaos had sold their souls to the death god Generator, a foul divine being that only wanted to consume all life in the universe, and probably any universes beyond this one if such things existed. Battle stations, a human male said to my left as everyone just got on with their duty. The Lady of Light continued to hum, vibrate and jerk as we were fired upon. And the foul aroma of death, burnt ozone and gunpowder filled my senses as my psychic abilities tapped into what was happening here. We were all here for a single purpose. It didn't matter if the living soul was human, Chaos or Dark Chaos, and it definitely didn't matter what fraction they served. We were all here for the sole purpose of something we didn't even understand. Every living creature was having their fate, and their odyssey spun and twisted and ended by 1,000 different factors, all pulled by Generator or Genetrix. They were the masters of fate, and sometimes I really did feel like a puppet, but those two divine beings had led all of us here. And I just didn't understand why. I had been on a mission to recover one of the soul stones, crystals that contained the souls of the 5 lesser gods of Genetrix and Generator, and these soul stones were the key to resurrecting both of them. Apparently a human male had it, and he was meant to be heading here. I just didn't understand why the others were here. It made no sense. "Brace," a woman shouted. I looked up and saw an immense missile scream through the void towards us. "Have a little faith, Captain," I said, holding out my hand and allowing bright white tendrils of magical energy to zoom out of it. The magic atomized the missile instantly, but I had to sit down after that stunt. I wasn't used to destroying something that powerful so easily. I sat on my delightfully warm command throne and clicked my fingers so streams upon streams of data revealed themselves. I started reading it, and it was as bad as I feared. "Have you looked at the mother world?" I looked up and weakly smiled at the tall female Chaos standing to my left. She was as beautiful, extremely thin and elf-like as the rest of her kind, but I could tell she was scared. Because this battle wasn't just happening around any world in the galaxy, this was happening around the most holy world to the Charis. Genesis, the mother world of their kind. I forced myself to look past my holographic data readouts, past the exploding ships and fighters in the void, and I weakly smiled at Genesis. An immense green world covered in the most beautiful forests I had ever seen, and I had seen photos of the planet from Imperial and Charis archives, and it was sensational. It was the most beautiful planet in the galaxy. Yet this time it was burning. I stood up as I noticed entire continents were ablaze, sending immense black columns of choking, toxic smoke high into the atmosphere. This was one of the most outrageous sights I had ever seen, and this wasn't just a physical insult against the natural beauty in the galaxy. This was an attack against the mind, spirit, and history of the entire Charis race. That explained why the Imperium wanted to annihilate it. The mother world is lost, I said, standing up to face the entire bridge.
Welcome back everyone, it's me again, Connor Whiteley. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's story, because I flat out love writing, creating stories and sharing them with you. If you really enjoyed today's story, then please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content, and the engagement really helps the Whiteleyverse with the YouTube algorithms. And if you want to buy this short story or any of my other fiction, then they're available from all major ebook retailers, and you can get them from your local library if you requested, and you can order the paperback copies from Amazon, your local bookstore or local library if you request it. Lastly, if you want to support the channel on a one-off basis, then you can now buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Connor Whiteley. Also, if you know anyone who would enjoy today's story, then please share it with them. I'm always really grateful when you wonderful people help spread the word about the channel. So, thanks for watching the Whiteleyverse, and I'll see you again soon. Have a great day, everyone.